President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said that the suspected leader of ISIS has been killed in Syria. He said Abu Hussein al-Qureshi has been neutralized by Turkey's intelligence agency, MIT. Erdogan said that MIT had been monitoring Qureshi for a long time before launching the operation. The Islamic State group announced the death of its previous leader last year in November and replaced him with Abu Hussein al-Qureshi. A streak of tracer fire lit up the sky over Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. This comes as Ukrainian air defense systems repelled Russian missile attacks. Air raid sirens blared across the country for more than 3 hours. Ukraine's armed forces head said 15 out of 18 missiles that Russia launched had been destroyed. Ukraine has said that it's still in control of a key supply route to the city of Bakhmut. Russian forces have been trying to take over Bakhmut for 10 months now. The commander of Russia's Wagner private military group has demanded more ammunition to continue the fight in the city. Russia sees Bakhmut as a stepping stone to attack other key areas. However, Kyiv has vowed to keep defending the city. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky held a phone call with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron. The two leaders discussed the situation on the front line. They agreed on additional solutions that would strengthen Ukrainian forces on the battlefield. This comes after Zelensky announced that Kyiv will launch a counteroffensive without Western aircraft. Fighting continues in Sudan despite the two rival factions agreeing to a 72-hour ceasefire. The two groups are Sudan's army and the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group. They each accused each other of violating the armistice. Meanwhile, Sudan Civil Aviation Authority has announced that the closure of the country's airspace will be extended till May 13th. India has safely evacuated 3,000 of its nationals from Sudan. The India's Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson said that an IAF flight carrying the 16th batch of evacuees took off from Port Sudan. This was part of an Operation Kaveri launched to evacuate Indians from the crisis-hit country. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is set to embark on a 3-day visit to the Maldives. He will hold bilateral talks with his Maldivian counterpart, Maria Ahmed Didi, and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abdullah Shahid. A statement by the Indian government said, and I quote, "The entire gamut of defence relations between the two countries will be reviewed during the deliberations." Singh will also interact with Indian diaspora in the Maldives. Paraguay's ruling party candidate, Santiago Pena, has won the country's presidential election. With this, Pena has pledged to maintain Paraguay's long-standing diplomatic ties with Taiwan. Paraguay is one of 13 countries that maintain diplomatic ties with Taipei instead of Beijing. China considers Taiwan a part of its own territory. US House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is on a 2-day trip to Israel. He met his Israeli counterpart Amir Ohana. McCarthy is all set to address the Israeli parliament, or Knesset as it's known. With this, he will become the second US House Speaker to do so. McCarthy said he is looking forward to the 75-year-old nation's next 75 years. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has vowed that the US will support the peace process between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Over the weekend, he held separate conversations with the leaders of the two countries. Armenia and Azerbaijan are engaged in a decades-long conflict. They have fought wars over the disputed region of Nagorno-Karabakh. North Korea has criticized the US and South Korea over an agreement to bolster the deployment of America's strategic assets in the region. Pyongyang said the move would escalate tensions to the brink of a nuclear war. US President Joe Biden recently pledged to provide Seoul with insights into nuclear planning. North Korea's state media said that the agreement will help the two allies take the most hostile and aggressive action against Pyongyang. Law enforcement agencies in the US continue their investigation into a Texas shooting. 5 people were killed in the shooting, which took place on Friday night in Cleveland. Authorities released a photo of the suspect, who is currently on the run. Police said that the suspect used an AR-15 style rifle in the shooting. All 5 victims of the shooting were from the Central American nation of Honduras. Pope Francis has urged Hungarians not to close the door on migrants who are quote-unquote foreign or unlike us. His statement comes in contrast to the anti-immigration policies of Prime Minister Viktor Orban. In the past, Orban has said that he would not allow Hungary to be transformed into an immigrant country. He claims that countries in Europe have become unrecognizable to their native people. Hundreds of workers in Cambodia rallied on May Day to demand better working conditions and higher pay. They waved Cambodian flags, banners, and chanted, "Long live the workers." Many of the demonstrators were from the country's garment and construction industries. "18 people have been killed after a bus fell off a cliff in western Mexico. 33 people have been injured. The vehicle fell some 15 meters down a deep, narrow gorge. 11 women and 7 men are among the victims. 11 minors have been hospitalized. Search and rescue operations are underway. The state of Texas in the U.S. witnessed severe storms and gusty wind. At least 5 tornado warnings have been issued in the state. Local media says that more than 81,000 people were without power on Saturday. The American state of Florida witnessed a tornado. The tornado flipped a car into the air and hurled debris over a highway in the Palm Beach area. There are multiple reports of damage to homes, buildings, and power poles. The tornado was part of a series of severe weather events to have hit Florida over the weekend. A number of earthquakes shook the Salton Sea region of Southern California within 24 hours over the weekend. The seismic activity reached up to 4.5 magnitude. The American states of California and Nevada witnessed over 200 earthquakes of 3 to 4 magnitude in a year. A group of environmentalists in Mexico protested against a major construction project in the country's Yucatan Peninsula. Protesters say it will bring devastation to the underwater caves and wildlife in the area. Mexican President Obrador has said that the project will help bring economic growth and develop poorer areas in the country's south. A new study has found that rising air pollution can increase the risk of cardiac arrhythmias or irregular heartbeats. The research was based on nearly 200,000 hospital admissions in China. It found a significant risk of irregular heartbeats within the first few hours of an increase in air pollution levels. A study conducted last year found a link between particulate air pollution and cardiac arrhythmias in otherwise healthy teenagers. In business news, US-based First Republic Bank becomes the 3rd bank to collapse within 2 months. US regulators have said that JPMorgan will buy First Republic Bank. Over the weekend, several banks, including JPMorgan, submitted bids to acquire First Republic. As part of the deal, First Republic's 84 offices in 8 states will reopen as branches of JPMorgan. The chairman of Swiss National Bank, Thomas Jordan, has said that Swiss banking regulation and supervision needs to be reviewed. He added that the regulations will need an in-depth analysis and that quick fixes must be avoided. His comments come after the recent collapse of former Swiss financial giant Credit Suisse. Paper magazine has reportedly laid off its entire staff. Editorial operations in the company will cease immediately. The layoffs will affect between 20 to 30 full-time staff as the company seeks to slash its expenditure. The pop culture magazine rose to fame post its Break the Internet photo shoot with Kim Kardashian. The US markets regulator has fined Seattle-based cryptocurrency exchange CoinMe. The Securities and Exchange Commission has fined the company and related defendants $4 million. They've been fined for offering a misleading crypto asset called UpToken. Struggling British fashion brand Superdry is reportedly in talks to raise nearly $19 million. This is a part of the efforts by CEO Julian Dunkerton to revive the retailer's performance. Superdry has been trying to raise funds through equity and intellectual property sales. Earlier this year, the retailer had warned that it expects only to break even in 2023. Sportswear giant Adidas is facing a lawsuit from its investors. They allege that the company routinely ignored the extreme behavior of Ye. Ye was formerly known as Kanye West. He was in a partnership with Adidas to sell his brand Yeezy on its platforms and stores. Adidas dropped the partnership last year. Media reports suggest chipmaker ARM has filed for a US stock market listing. It sets the stage for this year's largest initial public offering. ARM is reportedly seeking to raise anywhere between $8 to $10 billion through its IPO. However, reports say that the exact timing and the size of the IPO will rely on market conditions. Microsoft has said that support for all Windows 10 editions will be discontinued in October 2025. The tech giant has said that the current version of Windows 10 will be its last. The move will push users towards adopting Windows 11. Windows 10 was launched as a direct successor to Windows 8.1 in July 2015. An appeals court in Brazil has lifted the suspension on messaging app Telegram. However, the judge upheld the imposition of a daily fine of more than $200,000. Last week, Telegram was suspended in Brazil for not complying with the court's order. The court had asked the company to share information about extremist and neo-Nazi groups using the platform. Elon Musk has said that Twitter will begin taking a 10% cut from its users' content subscriptions after the initial free period ends. Earlier, Musk had made public his plans of allowing users to offer content subscriptions on Twitter. Musk had said that Twitter would not take any commission from these subscriptions for 12 months. Additionally, publishers will also be allowed to charge non-subscribed users for each article. Moving on to sports. In cricket, Mumbai Indians beat Rajasthan Royals by 6 wickets with 3 bowls left. The match was played at Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium, and it became the 1000th fixture in the history of the IPL. Rajasthan's Yashasvi Jaiswal scored 124 runs in just 62 balls, taking his side to a total of 212 runs. However, Mumbai's Tim David stole the show with an unbeaten 45 in just 14 balls. He hit a hat-trick of sixes in the final over to secure the win for Mumbai. In another IPL thriller, Kings 11 Punjab beat Chennai Super Kings by 4 wickets with 0 balls remaining. The match was played at Chennai's M.A. Chidambaram Stadium. Chennai's Devon Conway scored an unbeaten 92 of 52 balls. Skipper MS Dhoni hit back-to-back sixes to end Chennai's innings at 200 for 4 wickets. For Punjab, Prabhsimran Singh and Liam Livingston scored quick 40s, taking the game to the wire. With 3 runs needed off the last ball, Punjab's Sikandar Raza and Shah Rukh Khan ran their way to secure the win. In football, Manchester City beat Fulham 2-1 in the Premier League. City's Erling Haaland opened the scoring charts on a penalty in the 3rd minute. Hosts Fulham fought back as Carlos Vinicius scored in the 15th minute. Meanwhile, City regained the lead as Julian Alvarez whipped in a screamer from 25 yards. City are back at the top of the table and closer to winning their 5th title. Manchester United fans took to the streets to protest against the club's owners, the Glazers family. The Red Devil fans called out to the Glazer family and asked them to sell all stakes in the club. The Glazer family, Man United's American owners, had launched a formal bid for sale last year. The unhappy fans demanded that the Glazer family cut ties from the club and urged them to consider the first bid that comes their way. In the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich beat bottom club Hertha, four-game winless run across all competitions. The Barcelona women's team has clinched the La Liga title with a 3-0 victory over Sporting de Huelva. The undefeated women's Barca squad won their fourth consecutive La Liga title. They've also won all 26 of their matches so far this season. Sunday's win was the 61st consecutive win for the Barca women's squad. In Formula One, Red Bull's Sergio Perez won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on Sunday. Perez edged past his teammate Max Verstappen to win the race in Baku for the second time. The Mexican is now 6 points behind Verstappen with 2 wins each after 2 rounds. In golf, Tyler Gooch beat Sergio Garcia for the second consecutive time to win the Live Golf International in Singapore. The American secured a second $4 million check for his Live Tour appearances. Earlier, Gooch had won the Live Golf event in Adelaide, beating Garcia in the final round. In gymnastics, the 2023 World Championships are being held in Egypt's Cairo city. Ukrainian teenager Ilya Kovtun topped the podium in the men's floor exercise with a score of 14.43. Kovtun then earned a bronze in the men's pommel horse with a score of 14.56. Ukraine's Olympic silver medalist will also compete in the men's parallel bars in an attempt to bag 3 medals at the Cairo World Cup. For the first time ever, the Southeast Asian Games will be held in Cambodia's capital, Phnom Penh. The 32nd edition of the Games will see athletes from 11 countries participating in 37 game forms. As hosts, Cambodia has the privilege to include additional sports of their choice to the Games. Phnom Penh has decided to include cricket and martial arts to this year's Games. The country's Prime Minister, Hun Sen, has made the Games free for Cambodian citizens. MasterChef Australia judge Jock Zonfrillo has died at the age of 46 in Melbourne in Australia. The news was confirmed by his family. However, the cause of death was not given. Zonfrillo was a celebrated chef and author. MasterChef Australia has pushed back the season 15 premiere in Zonfrillo's honour. Singer Bruce Springsteen, who's in Spain for a concert, had a guest performer perform First Lady Michelle Obama. Former First Lady Michelle Obama joined Springsteen and played the tambourine. Michelle Obama sang Glory Days with singer Patti Scialfa and actor Kate Capshaw. Michelle and Barack Obama were in Spain for the concert. Singer Ed Sheeran has announced details of his Subtract tour. Sheeran will perform at theaters and auditoriums across 14 cities in North America. These shows will coincide with his stadium tours. His new album Subtract will release on the 5th of May, whereas a 4-part documentary on the singer will begin streaming from the 3rd of May. Coachella's parent company is threatening legal action against an unofficial video. A film editor made a concert video of singer Frank Ocean's performance by stitching fan videos. The full concert video was uploaded on YouTube. The company has issued a cease and desist order to the editor. The full version of animated film The Super Mario Bros. Movie was leaked on Twitter. The film was uploaded by a Twitter Blue user under the new long-format video option. The film remained there for several hours before being taken down. The user who uploaded the film has over 1.1 million followers. An estimated 9 million page views were recorded on the tweet. A sequel to the 2004 comedy film Dodgeball is underway. Actor Vince Vaughn is set to reprise his role in the sequel. He's also likely to produce the film. Actors Ben Stiller and Christine Taylor starred alongside Vaughn in Dodgeball. A sequel to the 2000 hit film Gladiator is in the works. The sequel has revealed new cast members after announcing actors Barry Keoghan and Denzel Washington. In March, actor Connie Nielsen will return to the film. Meanwhile, Joseph Quinn is in negotiations to play Emperor Caracalla. The release date for Season 3 of the drama series Only Murders in the Building has been announced. The new season will premiere on the 8th of August. Actor Steve Martin, who stars in the show, revealed the date during a talk show. The show will also have two new cast members, Meryl Streep and Paul Rudd. Italy's Far East Film Festival celebrated its 25th anniversary this year with a number of film screenings. Over 78 films from 14 countries were shown at the Asian cinema event. The festival invited over 200 filmmaker guests to mark the occasion. This was the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic that the festival returned to a fully physical format. Late fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld's ambitious hospitality project in Macau is set to open soon. The hotel is named the Karl Lagerfeld Macau, and it'll open its doors in June. Lagerfeld designed the hotel by blending Chinese designs with Western aesthetics. The hotel has 271 rooms and an indoor swimming pool. International bookings for the hotel are currently open.